This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 276, How to Make Money on the Internet, Part 1, by Chris Guillebeau of chrisguillebeau.com. And hi again, welcome back to Optimal Startup Daily. This is where I read to you every single day from some of the best blogs on entrepreneurship and freelancing. And I've got a bit of a longer post today from Chris Guillebeau, so I'm going to read the first half for you right now and then finish up the rest for you tomorrow. So with that, let's get right to Part 1 as we optimize your life. How to Make Money on the Internet, Part 1, by Chris Guillebeau of chrisguillebeau.com. When it comes to working online and making money on the Internet, most discussions tend to look at specific tactics. How do you set up a mailing list? How can you get a merchant account? And so on. The answers to these questions may be useful, but you can learn about them elsewhere, and I thought it would be helpful to take a step back and look at something higher level. Fundamentally, how do you make money on the Internet? I've been making my living online for more than a decade now. The specific projects I work on have changed over the years and may change again, but I can't imagine not doing something that pays the bills through online work. There are essentially two broad approaches to working online. You can either profit from an inefficiency in the marketplace, providing a solution to a problem someone else should have fixed, or you can make something valuable and share it with the world. For the first 5+ years of earning all of my income through online projects, I focused on profiting from inefficiencies in the marketplace. In my case, this meant things like selling on eBay during its early days, when it was a seller's market and high profit margins were normal. Things changed later on. Then it was playing an arbitrage game with Google AdWords and AdSense, profiting a small amount many times over from the split between the two. Again, things changed later on. There was nothing wrong with these projects, but they also weren't very exciting. I didn't go to sleep at night thinking about how my business would help people the next day. For a while, that was okay because I was involved in plenty of other things that were at least somewhat helpful. But as time went by, I felt challenged to contribute in a greater way. So I began to shift to the second approach, making something valuable and sharing it with the world. I'm writing my next book all about unconventional entrepreneurs, and the topic of value has been coming up in many of the interviews. Value is something that is frequently mentioned but rarely analyzed. What is value exactly? Your definition may vary, but I think of it like this. Value means helping people. With this definition in mind, you can easily find the most important principle of making money online. Be incredibly helpful. Be useful, provide something valuable, and people will be eager to support your work. In any kind of business, the marketplace, in other words, your customer, decides what is valuable and what isn't. You may think you are offering something highly valuable, but if it doesn't get the response you hope for, you've probably got the value part wrong somewhere. This can be different for non-commercial art, since you can make valuable work that may not be recognized commercially. But in business, the market decides what value is and how it should be rewarded. If you keep the focus on helping people, regardless of what kind of project it is, you're off to a good start. There's just one more important thing to keep front and center before we go on to more details. To make money on the internet, you just need something to sell, someone who wants to buy it, and a way to get paid. This short list is really all you need. Don't get hung up on anything else. I share this concept frequently because it's very easy to get overwhelmed with all kinds of other questions, ideas, and concerns that are completely irrelevant. You don't need to borrow money. You don't need to write a 60-page business plan that no one will ever read, and you certainly don't need to wait until everything's perfect before you get started. Again, you just need A, something to sell, a product or service. B, someone who wants to buy it, your target market, which is hopefully more than one person. C, a way to get paid. You can solve this problem in 2 minutes by opening a PayPal account from almost any country in the world. In addition to these two core concepts, here are some additional principles that may be helpful to you. 1, figure out what people want and find a way to give it to them. You can sometimes do this through surveys, directly asking your prospects or existing customers what they want, then making it for them. It also helps to relate your offer to core emotional needs. Most of us want more love, money, acceptance, freedom, and purpose. Similarly, we want less stress, worry, and hassle. Give people more of what they really want, or take away something they don't want, and you're halfway there. 2, instead of selling, issue invitations. Most of us like to buy, but we don't like to be sold. Therefore, treat your customers with respect and don't try to sell them all the time. One of the easiest, most helpful things you can do is to make it clear who your product or service is not for. This kind of filtering helps you as much as anyone else because it's never good in the long run to sell the wrong thing to the wrong person. Be clear about the benefit you provide and make a good offer, but don't push. 3. Language has consequences, so carefully consider your words. Be deliberate about how you describe your offer. The words you use matter. For example, I always advise information publishers to avoid words like ebook. When you say you have an ebook, you automatically create the impression of low perceived value. Don't sell ebooks. Sell guides, manuals, blueprints, strategy plans, or whatever you want to call them. But if you sell an ebook, be prepared for a lot of consumer resistance. That's an example of what not to do. It's also important to clearly communicate a vision for your project and how the project will benefit customers. In my work, I try to communicate a sense of scale, community, and meaningful independence. That's why I have a small army of remarkable people. That's why we talk about empire building and world domination. Not everyone likes these phrases, which is a good sign. As Bill Cosby put it, I don't know the secret to success, but the secret to failure is trying to please everyone. 4. Hear that in tomorrow's episode. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled How to Make Money on the Internet by Chris Guillebeau of chrisguillebeau.com. And as I mentioned, I will finish the rest of this post for you tomorrow. But before we go today, do you need to upgrade your business's Wi-Fi performance? Is your Wi-Fi slowing down when you work from home because you're sharing it with your family? Do you wish you had your own secure Wi-Fi network separate from the rest of the house? Netgear Business's Wi-Fi 6 products represent the latest in Wi-Fi technology. They deliver unmatched speeds, coverage, security, and capacity for growing your business or working from home. They're also packed with features like the ability to easily create a separate network at home dedicated to your work. Plus, seamless management helps you keep your guests and employees connected and your data protected, providing visibility from anywhere at any time. The world runs on Wi-Fi, and small businesses and home offices are no exception. With Netgear Business Solutions, you get the very best Wi-Fi performance to keep you connected whether you're in the office, working from home, or on the go. Visit netgear.com/business and use code OPTIMAL10 at checkout to save 10%. That's netgear.com/business with code OPTIMAL10 at checkout to save 10%, and I have that linked in this episode's description. Thank you so much to Chris for letting us share his work today. You can also check out his daily podcast, Side Hustle School, which is downloaded more than 2 million times a month. You can come by chrisguillebeau.com to find that and a lot more, and I have that linked, including how to spell Chris's last name, in this episode's description. Speaking of podcasts, it's not just this one that we've got for you. We have a bunch here in our network, most of them having the same format of narrating articles for you for free. So if you like this idea of checking out blog posts in audio form, please do go and look for our other shows, which cover topics like personal development, finance, health, relationships, and more. Just search for Optimal Living Daily wherever you're hearing this show to find all of them, or you can always come by oldpodcast.com to learn more. That's the word old, O-L-D, podcast.com. And Chris is actually featured across a few of our shows, especially Optimal Living Daily. Justin narrates a lot of his stuff there, so you might want to check that out. But that's going to do it for today on this show, so hope you're having a terrific weekend, and thanks so much for being a subscriber, too. I'm going to see you back here tomorrow for the 4th of July episode, and that's where we're going to finish up this 2-part post and where your optimal life awaits.